Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game, and today, the Valjean. It's Wave 8. It's the Maquis coming into play, just like they did in Deep Space Nine. And, yeah, the Valjean. Double weapon, double crew at a 2-3-3-3. Kind of like a beefed up NX. It's kind of how you have to think about it. Same amount of hull, same amount of evade dice, same amount of attack dice, more shields. Well, it actually gets shields. Smaller crew complement, but it gets weapons and the same action bar. A little more expensive, but this is just kind of the way it goes. Named ability during the modified defense dice step of the combat phase. Wow, you may disable up to 3 of your upgrades to add 1 evade result to your roll for each upgrade you disabled with this card. Not amazing, but if you start treating it like Federation, you throw on a bunch of upgrades that re-enable. You bring in Bashir to re-enable a crew every turn. You have cards that convert disables to time tokens. You run like a Phlox Beverly type combo. You run Tim Waters as a captain. You find some extra crew slots somehow. You can make this work. I don't think it's great. It is very much kind of a last ditch effort, but I do think there's potential here. A lot of extra evades in one go is nice, but still not the best. I do like the rear arc on the Valjean. It's nice. Maneuver dial, again, cool. I think they missed. I think the Valjean, the Maquis Raider itself, should have had the 1 turn instead of the 3 turn. It's a maneuverable little craft. We saw it in comparison to the Enterprise D. It fits between the nacelles. It is small. Yeah, should have had the 1 turns. Generics are down at 13 points. And with that, you got to figure the named ship should be down there. This one, crew double weapon. There's others I want to think that go double crew single weapon. I'd always run the double crew single weapon because if I want more weapon slots, I can run Sakona and get my weapon slots. Independent just don't have the weapons to really make use of it. I do think they have the potential. Again, potential seems to be the word of this ship review. But until Independent get a weapon like Type 8 upgraded phasers that boost low primary weapons, they're never going to be fantastic. Chakotay as a captain, I will say better than the Federation version of Chakotay. Skill 6, 4 points, talent slot. Add a weapon or crew upgrade slot to your upgrade bar, your choice. So that much is kind of nice. I tend to go with the crew upgrade slot. As an action, perform a second maneuver on your maneuver dial with a number of 3 or less. That alone would be kind of good. But then place an Ox Power token beside your ship. If the extra maneuver is red, put a second Ox Power token beside your ship. If I could do a 1 turn with this, it would be better. The Motley Fleet pack helped a lot with what Independent could do. That's where we actually see really good stuff coming into play. So Chakotay, a nice little slot addition captain. Bonus maneuvering, good, not great. Bonus actions, helpful for mission play, but then the fact that you're limited to green moves, I guess if you're really trying to make your turns, can be very helpful because like a 3 turn, and the next turn you're 1 banking, that can be helpful, but again, not the best. Calvin Hudson might be the most played captain in the last few years. So there's that. Calvin Hudson adds a tech, weapon, or crew slot upgrade to your upgrade bar. And if he's on an independent ship, all of your upgrades cost 1 less point. for 5 points, or 5 skill and 3 points, not bad, right? All you need are 3 upgrades and he's paying for himself. And this was fine. Calvin Hudson was a fine captain, but fairly unremarkable. There wasn't much in the way of independent ships. When the Valjean came out, I said, oh, okay, Calvin Hudson, great. And he got pulled out every once in a while. And then Captured came out. And Captured let you turn a ship into independent, and Calvin Hudson became ubiquitous everywhere. Because why not make a ship independent, and then everything costs 1 less? Yeah. So Calvin Hudson, great captain, not because of anything that he does, although adding a tech slot to just about anything, or adding a weapon slot to those ships that don't come with a weapon slot and you really want to get a weapon slot on them, very nice. But used perhaps too much. Be creative. Be creative. 5-point talent. You may disable this card at any time to replace an evade, scan, or battle station token beside your ship with 1 evade, scan, or battle station token. If this worked at any time, which it should, really, certain cards need to be able to work at any time, at any moment, whenever. This is one of those cards. If it did work at any moment, it still would not be worth 5 points. As it is, needing to work between phases, it's almost worthless. Basically, it's you take battle stations thinking you might have an attack, or you take evade thinking you're going to be attacked, and you go, oh, nobody even has a shot on me, or I don't have a shot on anybody, so I need to swap. And then this is a disable. Time tokens, please. Could we get time tokens on this? I think that might help. Again, it doesn't solve it. Although time tokens would go a long way to helping. At least it's not a discard, but it might as well be. Evasive Pattern Omega is a 3-point card. Hey, it's not 5. After all ships have moved, if you're in the forward firing arc of an enemy ship, and that ship is not in your forward firing arc, you may disable this card to immediately perform a sensor echo action, even if you do not have it on your action bar. So, yeah, this is kind of, I gotta get out of here. Now it can help. Imagine this on a Romulan ship. That could be actually really good fun. I don't think it's worth 4 points, but it could still be really good fun. Imagine this in Alliance play. That could be really good. I actually would have loved a card like this in Alliance. Yeah. That's where this would have really good use. Mission play. But standard play, no. Photon torpedoes, they're pretty standard. Battle station convert to a crit. Forward rear arc firing. They're okay on the Valjean, getting set dice at 5. Being able to utilize 90-90 arcs. Just 5 points, a little too expensive. Needs a discount. Still don't think that's come. So, yeah, hopefully a fix there. Ramming attack is a 3-point weapon, and as an attack, we discard the card and immediately perform 1 straight maneuver. If your ship overlaps an enemy ship, destroy your ship and roll 6 attack dice to damage the enemy ship. The enemy ship rolls 3 less defense dice against this attack down to a minimum of 0. This upgrade may only be purchased for a ship with a hull of 3 or less. Can't be used with the cheap death upgrade because that makes sense. But yeah, the only thing I wish is that this had some kind of quality. I feel like you should have more conversions to hits. You should have a guaranteed crit or something. You are actually hitting a ship and you've detonated your ship. Yeah, because even with 6 dice, you can blank out and have nothing work here. But yeah, mission play, it's interesting. I want to like this. I feel like I could like this with Tholians. it's just so niche that it's gotta go perfectly for it to actually work. Although I do think there's maybe some fun combos with like ramming attack and I stab at thee and Tasha Yar, where you can destroy your ship, roll 6 dice, roll 3 dice, roll 4 dice. It's a lot of dice all happening at once because your ship was destroyed. It's a thought. So, ramming attack, at least interesting. I think there's something that can be done. Seska, another character I want to like. I feel like she's had a few shots at good attack wing cards, and none of them really come to fruition. Action, discard this card and disable one of your other upgrades. To target a ship at range 1 to 3, the target ship cannot attack your ship this round. It was going okay until it said attack your ship. If it had been cannot attack this round, I think we went somewhere. I guess in a 1 versus several, like you're the one ship, Seska could have some use. Because now you're actually canceling an attack for an action. And she's one time and she's a setup play. I struggle. I struggle to make her work because she's costing me more than she's costing my opponent most of the time. I don't know. I struggle. I struggle to make her work. B'Elanna, whenever you initiate an attack at range 3, during the roll attack dice step of the combat phase, you may disable this card to gain +1 attack die, or +2 attack dice if this upgrade is deployed to a ship with a hull of 3 or less. For 4 dice, I almost feel like this should have been a static ability or time token ability, but what would have been wrong with static? I think she could have been fine. It's so conditional. So many conditions here. Range 3. At least it works with secondary weapons. So again, like her with photons actually becomes kind of potent. Kind of. There's no quality. It's just more dice. But more dice is nice. Yeah. I don't know. Her with torpedo fusillade is kind of fun. Not Disruptor Sweep, because Disruptor Sweep doesn't go to range 3. But Torpedo Fusillade could be interesting. But there's no real hull 3 ship that could run Torpedo Fusillade well. Brels actually aren't terrible with it. B'Elanna on a Brel, a Klingon Ferengi Brel, because that's independent, then we're saving a point. Is B'Elanna Torpedo Fusillade? Might be the start of something. I don't know. Again, might be the start of an idea. Maybe somebody can run with that. Tuvok. During the combat phase, after you complete an attack that you initiated, you may disable this card to immediately perform an additional 1 maneuver straight banker turn. I'm okay with this. I don't think he's perfect, but I'm okay. I'd prefer him with time tokens, but I think I'm fine with Tuvok. I like the effect, attack and then move. Yeah. And then last card here, Kenneth Dalby. Action, disable this card to repair 1 damage to your hull or shields, or action, discard this card to repair up to 2 damage to your hull or shields. I like flexibility. I like that I can say, oh, yeah, I've taken just a little bit. I've got time. I can disable him, get 1 back, or, you know what? I really need 2 back, and I'm never going to use him again. Yeah, I'm gonna get 2 back. For 2 points, he fills a niche. I've used him several times in mission play. I mean, it was organized play missions, but I've used them, and that's more than I can say about several cards. I don't know that he truly holds up these days. There are ways to maybe do this better, but he is one of the better repair cards. Yes, he's an action, but if you look at him just for the bottom part, action, chuck him out the airlock. get 2 health back, 2 shields back, or 2 hull. You take a weird crit, he's fixing that. You take an injured captain, gone. That's damage gone. I like Dalby. I think he works. So, yeah. Valjean, definitely a ship worth picking up. There's lots of good niche characters. I don't think anything's a must-have aside from Calvin Hudson. But even then, the other cards here are at least playable. Maybe not all of them great, but they're at least playable. And I think that's something worth celebrating. All right. Wave 8's Valjean, still worth it today. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.